My name is Stacey Platt, and I am a clinical professor of law at Loyola University Chicago School of Law. I'm also the associate director of the Child Law Clinic at Loyola. I am originally from Brooklyn, New York. I grew up more in the Midwest, and I went to NYU Law School, moved to Chicago after law school to work at the Legal Assistance Foundation of Chicago, where I originally worked in many practice areas with, I'd say, a focus on domestic violence. And after a couple of years was able to begin specializing in child advocacy and advocacy related to child and family issues. I go to court almost every weekday morning with students and sometimes on my own on the cases that we're working on. In the afternoon, I work with students on their cases. I also do home visits and interviewing of clients, parents, and in the evening I do some teaching.
Stacey cares deeply about the work she does. She's a really great advocate for children, and she's a good advocate for students as well. Her commitment to public interest work, her commitment to being a great lawyer and a great professor are very clear.
I have always known since before I started studying law that I wanted to be a public interest lawyer. That's been a really easy decision for me because I had my mind made up before I even went to law school. And I really like working on things that matter.
I think Stacey deserves this award because she's a really great child advocate, and she works really hard for her clients as well as works really hard to help students become better lawyers so that we can represent those clients ourselves after we graduate law school.
My work is very rewarding work. One of the cases that stands out for me involves representing a child in an abuse and neglect case who had initially made very severe, serious allegations of sexual abuse, and then upon seeing the impact those allegations had on her family, recanted the allegations. I was appointed to represent this young woman, and I would say that building a relationship with her, putting her on the stand, and supporting her in an abuse and neglect case in the juvenile court and also in a criminal case was one of the most rewarding experiences I've ever had as an attorney. I think what I like most about my job is is the mix of things that it involves, which includes litigation, which I love, working with students, which I love, working with children and families and trying to help families, which I love. So all of those are major sources of joy for me in my work.